Hello everyone, welcome to the episode 70 of SoLeadSaturday. The guest we have today is from a sports section, and we are going to start his introduction with a small story. A poster child, when it comes to overcoming obstacles and adversity, Lucas Caneda grew up as a die-hard rugby player starting at the tender age of 5. At the peak of his career, he suffered what many thought would be a career-ending knee injury. Yet, not only he did return to grandiose form, later on that year, he moved to France to become a professional rugby player from Argentina. A significant accomplishment for an athlete who was told at an early age that he had no shot at pro rugby due to his height. After a few years in France, he joined the Sarlat Rugby Team, where Lucas met Dom Einhorn, the founder and CEO of the unicorn incubator-accelerator. Lucas immediately integrated the incubator's rugby program, where he now works as a team leader for both the incubator as well as for one of its startups, Formation.gg, an up and coming platform dedicated to eSports. A student of engineering management and economics, self-taught in nutrition and fitness, Lucas has always had a very keen interest in business and entrepreneurship. Wow, really very quite interesting story and the career journey. I can't wait to hear more from him. So let's just welcome him and hear more about his career journey. How did he managing to lead his two passions and doing well and leading that both the passions simultaneously. Hey, hi, welcome, Lucas. Very happy to have you on the show and really appreciate all your time and consideration being on the show.
Hi, Isha. Thanks for inviting me to be to your show, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. You are the first person from the sports section for this show. So I'm really excited and looking forward to listen more from you. The first section that we have is passion or interest. So how do you manage to follow two of your passions at the same time? How do you see following multiple passions and benefits associated with it?
Well, I actually think that these two passions are one because they're both very similar. Rugby had taught me to be resilient and have a very competitive spirit. And I think that's what you need to succeed in the startup world.
Uh-huh.
So I do take these two passions as one and make them work together into progress.
So they are aligned towards your main passion, which is sports, right?
Yes,
You do the entrepreneurship and you do you are a professional rugby player as well. So
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense actually. And thank you so much for sharing. Moving towards our next section is questions from the audience, where I have shortlisted a couple of questions. So the first question under that section is, what are the most significant benefits of having a very diverse and international team? What are the greatest challenges associated with it?
Well, we're trying to build an international team,
Mhm,
both in Unicorn and Sarlat Rugby.
mhm,
So we believe it's in our DNA to have this, to encourage people from all around the world to see our content and to believe in us.
uh-huh,
And if we don't show the same example about being multi-diversity ourselves, how
mhm,
can we convince other people to be a part of it, right? So
mhm,
that's what we are trying to build, and it goes hand in hand with the place we live, Sarlat, which
mhm.
is a town of only 10,000 people. But during the summer, especially, we have more than 2 million tourists. So it goes hand in hand with the village spirit and our team spirit and our spirit in Unicorn. So that's why we are building it and how we are building it.
Yep, yep. And are there any specific challenges being a diverse, or there are other challenges being, some other challenges to build that?
I mean, in every startup, there are challenges. In every sports team, there are challenges, right? But I do believe that the benefits from creating this are a lot more,
Uh-huh.
and you can learn a lot of things of other people, other cultures, and when they're put together,
Mm-hmm.
they're just bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
And
you.
diversity, actually, the factor that the audience has asked, how do you see the diversity within the team?
What do you mean? How do I
So,
see
do
it?
you have like a diversity within the team, like a different country people are involved, or is it like a same country?
Oh,
Different
the
language?
diversity on the team, it's huge. In
Uh-huh.
fact, here in Unicorn, we
Mhm.
have people from over 20 different countries.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and the same happens on Sarlat Rugby.
Mm-hmm.
We have people from Tonga, from Fiji. I'm Argentinian. We have some guys from Croatia, from Georgia, Italy, France, and I might be forgetting some, but I mean, that's the team spirit we're trying to build is very inclusive and I mean,
Uh-huh.
very diverse.
Yeah, that's good actually. So you definitely see diversity as an advantage within the team building.
Totally, totally.
So thank you so much for sharing. And moving towards next question that we have is, what are your future plans or dreams?
Well, my dream is to transcend and to translate what I've learned from rugby,
Uh-huh.
my competitive spirit and the motivation into other people. I would really like to be able to share this with the maximum amount of people as I can. Being able to lead them and to grow myself as a leader, as a person, uh, but also to transmit this passion that I have for rugby, investing, and entrepreneurship, and making people grow their careers. And finally, if I've managed to do that, I would consider myself as successful.
Oh, wow. Thank you. And moving towards our next section is about like a fun segment where I'm going to give you three words and of a keywords from your profile, and you have to tell what comes to your mind. It can be
Okay.
a replacement keyword or it can be a short definition, whatever comes to your mind. So are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, this would be fun.
Yeah. So the first word is sports.
Rugby, passion. I mean, I've always been a sports guy. So yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And a
Mhm.
team, I what I always liked about sports is team sports. Actually,
That's great. And second word is career.
career, work, hard work, initiative, and I mean how to put your passions into your work because it's way worth it.
Wow, that was a great one. And the third one is money.
Well, it's always nice to have money, right? So yeah, I would say that it's always a means to an end. So yeah, not just focus about money, but what do you want to do with that, right?
Yep, yep, yep. Thank you so much. And you are really great. And it shows that you are really passionate about the sports rugby and your career. Moving towards our
Thank
next
you.
section is exploring your career, work, and volunteering. So we have one question under that segment. How do you balance between responsibilities at Unicorn and career as a rugby player?
That's a good question because it's actually hard to juggle, both responsibilities because they're top priority, both
Mhm.
of them. But that's what makes this adventure even bigger and more interesting and what keeps you going, right? I mean, one of the things that everyone needs to find is what pushes them and what makes them go forward and keep going because
Uh-huh.
it's not always easy, right? I mean, we all of us we've experienced problems or some hiccups on everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing is, how do you fall and get back up, right? And
Uh-huh.
keep going further. So I would say that's the most difficult part, but it's also the most interesting part of this job.
Mm-hmm. One more question I do have, like, whenever we think about sports as a career, that you are doing well within that, but when it comes to like, um, getting a proper mentorship or getting initial investments, so how big is that deal actually, like, because I just feel that audience out there would be interested to know about it, that how that career journey one can start, like, when they think about sports as their long-term career option.
Well, I would say always follow your dreams. I
Uh-huh.
know it's a bit cliche, or maybe it's a phrase that everyone heard at least a couple times.
Uh-huh.
Dream big and follow
Uh-huh.
your dreams. Personally, I've always been told I would never become a professional rugby player because I was too small.
Uh-huh.
And actually, that made me want it even more, right? So if that's your dream, whatever it is,
Uh-huh.
put yourself into it. Work hard because nothing comes for free.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so if you need to make a lot of effort to make it happen, don't don't stop. Go get it.
Yeah, that's true actually. Chase your dream. That is very true. But one question that I would like to ask is, when we think about finances, like, getting into the academics is might be a little easier way for the, parents out there who always think that it gives you a little more financial stability. When we think about the careers in, like, being an engineer, being a doctor, being a nurse, like those kind of a professions where you immediately start earning the income. And people think, like, most of the mindsets are there that they think that those areas gives you financial stability earlier in your life. So how do you look sports as a part of it, like, when anybody think about sport as a career, how would you like to tell people out there that it is, like, though it is a hard work, it is like, you can achieve what you want to in that area as well.
That's a very interesting question. Thank you. I have a couple things that go together into this, but I would say that firstly, I wouldn't consider one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we are trying and we are putting in place here in Unicorn and Sarlat Rugby
Mm-hmm.
is that this both things can go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
We've identified a problem is that with the professional players,
Mm-hmm.
you never know when your career will stop, or you never know if you will have a career in sports,
Yep.
because the actual stats show that the majority of the people uh, don't get that far, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we are building is actually a format that would allow you to play professional rugby, but also side by side work, learn, have the experience on a business, on a startup, and learn for the future. Whenever that comes, you'll be ready. So on that side, I've always myself, I've studied while I played rugby. Um, when I was back in Argentina, rugby back in Argentina is amateur rugby. So you actually pay to play for rugby, right? So I had the chance that the luck that my family could help me out, but
Mm-hmm.
still I was not that was not enough. So I've always wanted to work, to study, and play rugby at the same time. And I mean, I've been finding my ways back back in the day, and I've always thought that's the way to go. You don't do one or the other, but they go together.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. And that is definitely insightful and useful for the people out there to consider sports as their career option as well. Only thing I feel that sports sports comes with a lot of hard work, dedication, and discipline, and it is applicable to any area. Maybe some of the areas are like easy to get a success into. Sports is definitely something that you have to put a lot of hard work. So yeah, so whoever is willing
But
to get into this area, definitely you can reach out to Lucas. Actually, he would be a great example how you can establish your career in sports.
thank you. But if you think about that, I mean, becoming a doctor, it's also a lot of hard work, right?
A doctor and lawyer, those are the hard work.
Everyone, yeah. But even becoming an entrepreneur,
Yes,
building up your startup, I mean, those are probably the hardest things to do,
yes,
the
yes.
hardest things to achieve. And here at Unicorn, we experience that a lot.
Uh-huh.
People investing time and money into their startups and struggling, and
Mm,
that's also the why Unicorn is so effective, because it helps identifying the problems the startups have,
mhm,
but the main reason is to find the solutions that they are having
mhm,
into the startups and putting that work in place with them
mhm,
hand in hand, because we would never want to take the startup from you. It's always your startup, but we just help you out to make it successful.
uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. Actually, entrepreneurship is a lot of hard work. People always feel it is a fascinating area to be in, but when you actually dive into it has a lot of dedication actually, and it is a very long journey actually. The way you think, even though a day-to-day job, you might be handling one or two clients. When you start your own startup or the entrepreneurship, you might be juggling multiple clients at the same time. So it definitely has a lot of hard work, and I completely agree with you. So thank you so much for sharing this. And moving towards our next section is kind of a closure segment about leadership. So you are truly leading your area of interest, and you are trying to manage, like, align passions together. So what is your leadership style, and any specific leader that you always follow or admire, and why?
Well, I've always been confident that you should lead by example.
Uh-huh.
So I always try to show people what they need to do or they should be doing by doing it first. First, because to see if it works, you
Uh-huh.
need to try it first. You can't tell someone to do something if you don't know if it's going to work or not.
Uh-huh.
But also because if you are doing the work, the rest, I mean, they see you and they say, "Oh, if he's doing it, why am I not?" Right?
Uh-huh.
And I've learned that on the rugby pitch probably because it's 15 people out there playing,
Uh-huh.
but you always have your teammates back.
Uh-huh.
So the time the what we call in rugby like what changes a game
Uh-huh.
is when one, two, three players start doing 10, 20% more than they should.
Uh-huh.
Why? Because it creates an atmosphere of effort and discipline
Uh-huh.
on the team and makes everyone move a step ahead.
Uh-huh.
And when that happens, the results are great. And I think that can be uh, sent to every aspect of business and
Uh-huh.
sports.
Mhm. Oh, wow, that's great actually to have that kind of a leadership style. And the way I understood it is moreover like when you said that, if that person can do it, I can do it as well. So it is kind of an inspiration comes from the other person. So definitely that person is a leader who is able to inspire the other people to do more. So thank you so much. That is really a great leadership style to have, anybody to have. And I really appreciate all your time and consideration being on the show. It was a quick and fun chat with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very happy to be here on this show and till the next time.
Yeah, thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Wow, that's great actually to have that kind of a leadership style. And the way I understood it is moreover like when you said that, if that person can do it, I can do it as well. So it is kind of an inspiration comes from the other person. So definitely that person is a leader who is able to inspire the other people to do more. So thank you so much. That is really a great leadership style to have, anybody to have. And I really appreciate all your time and consideration being on the show. It was a quick and fun chat with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very happy to be here on this show, and till the next time.
Yeah, thank you. That is all about Lucas Caneda and how he is managing to lead his two passions. Hope you get inspired from it as well. So before we end, we are going to end this episode with another closure quote, which is from Claire Bordich. And it says, you don't have to do only one thing, but you have to start with something. So on that quote, we are closing today's episode. See you guys in the next episode. Until we meet, happy leading. Let's lead together. Stay safe. Bye for now.